I'm freezing too. See me in the here, like, or
I shared a parka.
I got my warm as I am, but I had my furnace or my little heater on today, and I'm toasting now. Diana's coming.
Let's go.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have roll call.
Commissioner Bowser?
Here.
Commissioner Bueller?
Here.
Commissioner Day?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt's coming. Commissioner Robertson?
Here.
Commissioner Shaver?
Here.
And Commissioner Moore. He is absent. He did notify the office today that he will not be attending tonight.
Okay, we have approval of minutes for January 5th and January 20th of this year. Any other corrections need to be turned in?
I'll turn in a couple of non-material typo pieces.
And
Did you get an email from me?
Okay, so can I have
Absolutely, yep.
the floor for just 1 second here? First off, I got a correction for January 20th meeting, and I want to confirm January 20th, had you attended the library board meeting?
I had not yet, that was my correction.
Okay, I misunderstood that, so we'll get, and what about the ordinance committee? Does it say
It's the next day too, yeah.
Oh, it's the next day?
You're just missing a will.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just off on my notes. Okay, no problem there.
That was my only correction.
Were there any other ones before I address Commissioner Shaver?
The ones that I turned in.
Okay, perfect.
And then to confirm, I handed in my edits for the 5th.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And I already got those done. I
Echo.
did those right after you gave them to me.
Thank you.
Okay, so, where is my stuff for Commissioner Shaver? Right here. So I received an email, I think as did the commission, on Saturday after the minutes were sent out, and his question was, does the owner of the building previously labeled Christian Burlesque House, All Things Naked, It's Not What You Think, have any involvement with the proposed daycare or access to the building? So I did not put that in the minutes because I did not feel it added anything to the content, and the question that was actually asked was, I walk my dogs by it almost every day, and what happened to the Christian Burlesque and whatever that was. We need to talk about that. Is the owner still involved? And Mr. Bale said, I'm his son, and that's why he's here, and he currently owns the building. It went away, and that's all that needs to be said. So that's why it was not in there. How you proposed the question in your email was not what was said in the meeting.
Can you put what I said in the meeting in the minutes?
I need some guidance from
So
our attorney.
the purpose of the minutes is to capture the substance of what was said. It's not a verbatim record of what was said. So you all could certainly vote to amend the minutes to include what Commissioner Shea was proposing. Again, the point of the minutes is to include the substance. When you go through the statute, there's certain requirements for every minute entry, including the time and date and place. Looking at section 2-3-212, and then subsection 2C, again it says the substance of all matters proposed, discussed, or decided. So the way I read that, as long as the minutes record the substance of what you're talking about, then you're good. And so reviewing your minutes, if you think it captures the substance of what was discussed, you can approve them. If you want to amend them to add something, that's just fine too.
This wouldn't just be a regular typo. This is an actual change to the minutes.
What would the content be that you're interested in adding, so that I'm clear?
Well, I would need to add something along the lines of, did you get the email?
I did, but I don't remember it verbatim.
Okay. Would you like me to read it again?
Please.
Okay.
Just that section on what would be added.
Okay, well, what his question was that he emailed me is different than what he said in the minutes. So what part would you like me to reread? The part that he said in the minutes or the
Is
question?
there a part in the minutes that
Yes.
would reflect what Commissioner Shaver's interested in?
So what he had asked in the minutes,
Hold on.
oh,
You're reading the transcript, aren't you?
correct.
Okay, so, Commissioner Robertson's question is what's reflected in the minutes?
It is not reflected in the minutes, thank you. I did not reflect his comment in the minutes because I did not feel that it was relevant to the discussion because it had already been
So my
said what it
question
was.
What, is there a topic or issue, something that you feel is important to get on the record that is not in the minutes? Or was said?
Yes.
And what is that?
What was said is what happened to the Christian burlesque or whatever that was. We need to talk about that. Is that owner still involved in it? Now, this is just a transcript. You know, there could be some words left out.
That, if you guys would put exactly what I said, what she just read in the minutes, I'd appreciate it. So when people come back and something weird goes wrong there, I can say, well, I questioned it. People wanna know about the Christian burlesque and the all things naked and what happened to that guy. I'm not trying to smear anyone or do anything, but when my neighbors come up to me asking, really, that Christian burlesque is a daycare now? I'm gonna be like, yeah. What else would it be after it was that? And you guys went on and on about it was a swap thing and everything, and it was, I guess, but that's not what all the signage and everything out front said. I mean, I think it's just, I'm one of those guys, you guys will know is, what could possibly go wrong? Is what could go wrong?
So
You're building a daycare next to a truck stop, next to a bar. It used to be a Christian burlesque. Wow, what could go wrong?
can the minutes reflect Commissioner Shaver asked if it still is the same owner as the Christian burlesque? Period. Put it on the record. You asked that question. Is that right? That's a statement of fact. You asked that question?
Statement of fact is what I said, right? She just said verbatim.
Okay.
So put that in the
He's confirming with you.
Yeah,
Commissioner Robertson's asking you a question.
Could we just add that phrase to these minutes? Is there any reason we can't?
No, absolutely
On
not.
occasion, we do add
But
words
we need,
verbatim.
because of it being this and it's, I feel that I've met the law. It's now not how the commission is feeling, so you need to make a motion to amend it.
Correct. It was not done in the draft. So to change the draft that was circulated, you just need to make a motion.
Because it's not a typo, it's not an is instead of an it or a comma there.
But the
It's
minutes
a-
haven't been accepted yet, right?
Correct.
That's why you
They're just
make
draft
the
notes.
motion.
So it'd be part of that, that
I
it
would
would,
make a motion to
Yep.
approve the minutes with changes and with a change that would include Commissioner Shaver's comment as
Okay.
he submitted.
perfect.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion coming from Commissioner Robertson and a second from Commissioner Shaver. Do we want to just do a roll call vote on that?
Sure, if you'd like to do that, you
All right,
bet.
we'll do a roll call vote.
Before we call, is it for both the January 5th and the January 20th?
No, it would
minutes,
be
or are
just
we
January.
just doing the January?
Correct, we are only making the amendment to the January 20th. Unless there's something else in the 5th, I don't know.
Just wanted to confirm.
So it's
There's
January.
no other changes in the 20th.
Is there any other changes in the 20th,
Yeah.
other than
Just-
typos?
just-
I have a
what's turned
couple
in.
typos, that's it.
And I, of course, confirm the attendance. Okay, so,
Any other questions from the commission?
all right, so we have a motion on the table. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Day?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren, which he's not here, sorry. Okay, now I just need, approval of the 5th minutes.
Any other corrections to be given for the 5th?
Move to approve, the fifth as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the 5th and a second, and all in favor, please raise your right hand.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Okay, no courtesies, no proclamations tonight, so we'll begin with board and commission reports. We'll start with Commissioner Hewitt.
We meet Wednesday, this Wednesday.
Nothing to report.
Commissioner Shaver?
Nothing to report.
So the Central Montana Foundation did meet last Tuesday, January 27th. I was unable to attend due to family illness. So I'll be excited to attend my first meeting in February.
And Commissioner Bowser?
January 21st, the ordinance committee met. We discussed some of the input from the public on the snow routes. Holly suggested looking at possible changes to Brassy, Ash, and Castle Butte, and whether we need to look at moving Boulevard from Tier 2 to Tier 1, since it is in the direct route to the hospital. There was a discussion about taking Tier 2 option to only move when there was snow, but it was determined that after much discussion that there wasn't enough time to get a true representative to sample on how it's going. And we would like to have a meeting in the spring and have the community members give us feedback on how it's going. There was also discussion about reinforcing the ordinance 1768 to make sure people were not parking on the grassy median in front of their homes. And we also discussed the need for garbage cans to not be located on the streets or sidewalks. And then the library board met on an hour later.
Met
An hour later, on the 20th. 21st, they presented me with a book about libraries, which was I greatly appreciated, and I'm halfway through. They reported on the Chili Bowl. There was 107 paid participants and volunteers. They also received a $10,000 gift from the Carnegie Foundation. The hiring process is moving forward, and there was one applicant at that time to interview face-to-face, and that was scheduled for the end of January. Tyler gave a presentation on board responsibilities. We visited about the CBDG grant, and there was some question about going forward with Mosaic, and the library board wanted to meet or have the building committee meet and give us a report on how they felt about getting Mosaic so we could move forward. So they set the special board meeting on the 30th. We met and got a report from the building committee. They strongly recommended going ahead with Mosaic. It was determined that the city would administer the grant, not Snowy Mountain Development, and that would save about $7,000. Negotiations with Mosaic are going to be happening next.
I get that all the time.
Thank you. I was also part of that ordinance committee, so I appreciate you doing the report for that. And then the Park and Rec Board will meet this Wednesday at the Civic Center at 7 p.m. Okay, we'll move on now to our city manager report with City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so some exciting news. As we alluded to, the application, the Montana Main Street Grant application that was submitted by the Downtown Association in partnership or in collaboration with the city, was partially funded to complete the downtown master plan. That's exciting. It sounds like they'll continue moving forward with that, which again supports our growth policy or our land use plan, and would have a lot of its own public involvement as well. So stay tuned for more information there, but I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of dive into what the Montana Main Street program is. Now I've told you half the story, that they give out grants to those member communities. It was created in 2005. The city has been part of that group since 2010. We do submit quarterly updates to participate in that program, but really they're focusing on preserving and implementing projects directly related to revitalizing our downtowns and keeping and preserving the historic buildings within. And so we participate in monthly, they call it lunch and learns, or like a online workshop that brings people from across the state together. It's a great way to network. We also get trainings and technical assistance from the Department of Commerce, who administers the Montana Main Street program, and do have opportunities to participate, market our communities through the national Main Street program as well. A few ways that Main Street funds have been used in our community, and this is not necessarily a complete list, but just a good sample of that is the Creekside Marketplace and Pavilion. They partially funded the parklet. They helped us with the wayfinding plan and signage and a tourism assessment, as well as now the revision to our downtown master plan. So those funds are come from our lodging taxes, and so it's just a great opportunity to kind of leverage some of those visitor dollars into our communities. The QR code on your report will take you to a great video that the Department of Commerce put out about 5 years ago that showcased Roundup and Lewistown. So it's kind of a well-done video that showcases our communities here. Women's also was very successful in their application this year, and Roundup has seen a lot of success. So there's a lot of Central Montana represented in the Main Street program. Community events are really about basketball this time of year. So Lewistown again will host the District 7C as well as the Southern C Divisionals. Those are middle of February and end of February. They bring a lot of teams in, so 16 teams for each of those tournaments will be in our community. Always nice to showcase Lewistown, and they have a big tournament committee that is really focused on getting more of those type of events back here. Upcoming committee topics, committee of the whole topics, that is not a comprehensive list, so if there is something that you would like to learn more about, please chime in, but those are ones that we have picked up on, and we'll kind of work on those. So feel free to let us know. The Civic Center, again, is in the very busy winter season where they have just tons of community events going on. But over the next month, they'll host some special events like the Jan Duncan Memorial Volleyball Tournament and the Pinewood Derby. And then our Park and Arts Department is kicking off the spring with the Glow in the Dark Dodgeball, which is a great family fun event. And then she's going to try out hosting a community garage sale too later in March. You'll see more information as those dates are released, but she has a great Facebook page with her calendar, and that is Lewistown Park and Recreation if you want to find out more. Just a few things on our projects to update. All of the biosolids from the wastewater facility have been hauled, so that's out of the field there. We're still doing the design work on the wastewater construction. The project is basically complete, or as complete as it's going to be this winter. They do have to do the startup on one piece of equipment yet, and then most of the work will wait for spring to do reclamation on the grass and things disturbed during construction. Our audit is scheduled for to begin February 17th, so more to come on that as we get closer. And then I did put the committee meetings on there. The upcoming meetings is our 3 committees. And then I did add a section for zoning code updates. We have prepared, and I'll pass it to Deb and she can hand it down, a February calendar. On this calendar are those meeting times and dates, as well as our commission meetings, other meetings you hear about often, the historic resources, Doug's Board of Adjustment meeting is on here. So look at it, use it. If you have other recommendations on things you'd like to see on the calendar, please let us know. Hand this down for all of us. And then just some employment updates. Our new officer started today. The library is very close to making a recommendation on the librarian. We will be posting the trail specialist, which is a seasonal position, with the nice weather. We continue to get inquiries on our pool staff, which just seems crazy to me. But we plan on advertising those in March. And then, the fire chief is here, so I'll make a plug for Park Paid Fire. They're always looking for new recruits, so if you know people, send them to the fire department. That's all I have, thank you.
Real quick,
I'm just gonna call for questions regarding the city manager.
I just have one. I actually noticed the biosolids leaving. Where do they go?
So we often haul it up to the airport. So we coordinated with the airport's director and the staff up there and have a site, out there that was actually, utilized for a brownfield reclamation project. And they wanted the material to grow new grass. And so,
And the ground's not currently frozen, is it?
probably when we hauled it, it was not. So what they did, just to make sure, because, the airport board, or the airport employees will actually disc it in and get ready to plant it in the spring. And so they did do a temporary containment around the site.
Cool.
And they love it. And
Movement forward,
Yeah,
love
we
that.
work with them.
Any other questions from the commission regarding the city manager report? We'll move to public comment. So we'll have public comment on non-agenda items. Anything on non-agenda items? All right, we'll take care of our consent agenda. Any questions for our financial clerk regarding the consent agenda? Okay, do we have a motion?
Move to approve the claims detailed for the accounting period of 1/26.
Second. Sorry.
Do you want the dates included in that motion?
I'll put it in there, I mean,
From
they just,
1/17 to 1/31.
yeah, they just need to approve the consent agenda, 'cause that's what we're doing.
Okay. All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Robertson and a second from Commissioner Bueller. Any other questions regarding the consent agenda? Okay, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, before we move on to the regular agenda, I would just like to comment, that as a commission, we've adopted the Robert rules. And, as we go forward with discussion regarding motions that have been made, we would like to follow those rules by each commissioner addressing their comment to the chair. And each commissioner is, as part of the rules, has a chance to speak before a commissioner has another chance to speak. So we'll go down the row, making sure that everybody's had a chance to make comments regarding discussion on items. Okay, all right, moving on to the regular agenda, we'll start with item number 1. It's discussion and action on approving resolution number 4218, a resolution establishing and adopting a planning commission in accordance with the Montana Land Use Planning Act. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yep, so included in your packet was one version of this resolution. We have circulated a revised resolution this evening. You can tell because the revised one will have. And so, in reviewing it, our attorney, decided that there were some areas that would be beefed up, and so we can definitely hit those. Again, this ties into a lot of what we've discussed, at the committee of the whole, which is our land use plan and, getting the planning commission in place. And so, last spring, we did, approve an interlocal agreement with, Fergus County to continue utilizing the basic framework of our city county planning board and, make them our planning commission. And so, Very recently, the Fergus County signed off on that interlocal, though they had verbally and in writing expressed their agreement. So this formalizes that. Again, a 9-member board with equal representation from both sides. So 4 appointees from the city, 4 from the county, and then that odd duck is from the Soil Conservation District. This will consolidate our city-county planning board already acts as our zoning commission, so that will continue that relationship and adds the duties of our board of adjustments. You can see a lot of the language out of the law. We anticipate more regular meetings, but state law does require this group to meet at least once every 6 months. Obviously, public meetings following state law, and then primarily the revisions that the attorney added was just making sure that until this board is completely in place and functioning, that the city county planning board and the board of adjustments will continue in full effect. Then at that time, we will disband them by resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you make your last comment again? I didn't hear what you said.
I bet Tyler wants to continue that.
Well, yeah, so, this resolution is bringing a lot of things together that we've been working on for the last couple of years. So, as Doug just went through came the plan, the 2024 Lewistown plan, then came working with the county to say, all right, we have these current boards in place, but under the Montana Land Use Planning Act, we have to do something different. So when Lewistown opted into the Montana Land Use Planning Act, that puts us completely into that act. So when you go through Title 76, there's different statutes for different boards and rules and things like that. But this Land Use Planning Act is specifically for what we're talking about, and so all the rules are contained within that act. And so this document says, okay, we have these boards, we have the city county planning board, we have the board of adjustments. They were established in X years. The Montana Land Use Planning Act says that anything that was established before May of 2023 can be basically absorbed into the new commission. And it makes sense because the city county planning board, the board of adjustments, the roles that they have currently are exactly what the planning commission is going to be doing. And so the act it was smart the way they drafted it, because it built in where you can grab folks that have already been in this role, who are already knowledgeable about this, who are already passionate about it, and allows you to just take them and put them into this new commission. But that also came with consent from the other governing body, the county. So we worked with them, we made an agreement that kind of boils down, okay, you get 4 members, we get 4 members, odd man out, as Doug said, is the conservation district. And again, this kind of buttons all that up. And when you go over to the highlighted portion, when I first drafted this, I realized I kind of left it hanging about what's gonna happen with these other boards. So I drafted this transition language to clearly state that, okay, those boards are still in play until the new members are appointed. So you all just did that last meeting with the TIF board, where they had the new financial planning committee where they renamed it. So this is gonna be same but different, where we're saying, probably in the next meeting, I'm guessing, once we have all of our folks lined up, where you're going to be appointing those folks to the planning commission, the new planning commission. My understanding from Doug is that the county has already appointed and approved their 4 members. So the county side's good to go. And then I believe the conservation district still needs to approve theirs, but that's in the works too. So we have a sunset, and the sunset is really when those final appointments are made pursuant to that interlocal agreement. So as you go through this resolution, it does reference back to the agreement that you previously approved, which the county signed off on about a month ago or so. And so again, this wraps it all up, brings it all together. And I do want to point out too, keep in mind that under the Land Use Planning Act, that the Planning Commission is an advisory board. So similar like the TIF, where the commission's going to meet, they're going to hear, you know, variances, requests for subdivisions, all that stuff that they already hear. They're gonna make their votes, have their discussions, and they will come to you for action.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve resolution number 4218.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Robertson and a second from Commissioner Hewitt. Any questions for our city attorney or city manager regarding the motion?
Chair, I have one question.
Commissioner Bueller.
I'd just like to confirm which boards, so the City County Planning Board and the Board of Adjustments will now be kind of absorbed into the Planning Commission. We will still have a zoning,
No, that's all coming under.
that's, okay.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that has been absorbed that, so Board of Adjustments, City County, zoning, and is there anything else out there? We've got our act together.
Number 5 says removal, planning commission members may be removed by majority vote of the city commission for any reason?
No.
Wouldn't that be, so we can remove the county commissioners, or the county appointees?
Yep.
The city can?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Because again, it's an advisory board to you. Now, when you remove that county member, we go back to the interlocal agreement, and the county gets 4 members. So say you as a collective said, yep, this person's not working, and you bump a county member off, the county then gets to confirm that 4th member, keep those numbers straight. So the commission's always going to be made up of 4 city, 4 county, with your wild card. And you do have the option to bump them. They will also have the option to bump. I didn't touch on bylaws, sorry about that. So the commission's gonna have their own bylaws, so they can have their own internal process to remove somebody if they want to. But again, ultimately, this is the city commission under you. So you get to, you have the planning commission under the city commission. So you're the ultimate umbrella, because they're an advisory commission to you. They come and give you suggestions.
Now, they also do service the joint board for Purvis County, but the county planning has the ability to call for meetings and stuff, much like they always have, and then they make recommendations to the county commissioners as well.
Yep. Because again, it goes back to this plan, and Doug was talking about the 2.5 miles and how the city and county works together. So again, it's built right in to have county representatives on that commission to help work through that process.
Any other questions from the commission or the public? We need a roll call vote.
We are approving resolution number 4218. Resolution of the City of Lewistown establishing and adopting a planning commission in accordance with the Montana Land Use Planning Act. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Hi.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 2 is discussion and action on approving a consultant to assist with revising the City of Lewistown zoning code and allowing city manager to enter into an agreement for this work. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so, the Montana League of Cities and Towns, and partnered with the Department of Commerce to apply for a large-scale grant to support, the Montana Land Use Planning Act in those communities that are planning under that. And, the city of Lewistown allocated their portion of funding, which is about $158,000, to support the plan development, to get our codes and other supporting documents such as subdivision regs,
Floodplain, zoning code.
in compliance with that. And also, do some information or data, improvements that would make it more accessible to developers and the public.
And public comment and participation.
And so, based on that, kind of our first phase of those proposals is outlined as the request for proposal that was put out this fall. So we were looking to review and refine the zoning code changes. Again, our planner had drafted a good set of modifications, but they were to review that or audit those and make recommendations. Also conduct public engagement on any proposed zoning code updates. We allowed for virtual meetings with the planning commission, with the city commission, with the public, those sort of things. And then complete those zoning code changes along with the maps necessary to support that. And so you can see, we received 2 proposals back. We have worked with both of these entities on actually our land use plan and information. The first one was Cushing Terrell, who actually provided technical support to create the land use plan, and Housel Levine, who was contracted by the state to do some of that modeling that you saw at the tail end of it. And so we did score those. You can see they both scored very highly. Again, the overall impression of working with both of those is both of those groups were good to work with, had kind of a solid general knowledge of our plan and could support zoning code changes that would be consistent with that plan. At this time, and based on the scoring, we would recommend moving forward with Cushing Terrell to do the work. And again, this is a not to exceed contract for the phases outlined. And so our budget that was created was less than $50,000 for that work. I did include our purchasing policy, which kind of outlines, and it's something you'll hear more about in just a few minutes, and it's hole punch, so you can put it in your binder. We have several different thresholds with our purchasing policy. The back page is a nice summary of that. So department heads have discretion up to $500 at between $500 and $5,000. They need written quotes from at least 2 vendors, and then there's some paperwork that they must submit to myself and the finance director for any work. Well, at $5,000, up to that $5,000, it's a little simpler form. At between $5,000 and $15,000, it's a more comprehensive. So they need written quotes and things like that. Anything above $15,000 comes to you guys. So that's why we're here tonight, and that's why you'll hear more about that at the next agenda item as well. So, and then state law actually requires full-blown bidding at $100,000. Our purchasing policy is a little less than that. It's at $80,000 that we do that. But again, up to that $80,000, we can just solicit, not have to do a formal bid process.
Up to 50, you said?
At up to 80.
Up to 80. I move we approve the consultant Cushing Terrell to assist with the revising of the City of Lewistown zoning code and allowing the city manager to enter into an agreement for this work. The second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Bueller and a second from Commissioner Bowser. Any other questions from the commission regarding the motion?
I have a question. Is this one of the motions where you would prefer to have an up to dollar amount?
No, because you said not to exceed.
Okay, so not, I was gonna say, it's in the actual document, so we're good.
Yes.
Okay, any questions from the public? We'll do a roll call vote.
So we are approving Cushing Terrell. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, item number 3 is discussion and action on approving the purchase of a motor for the wastewater treatment plant. It's extra word in there. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so included in your packet is the quote for this motor. Again, wastewater equipment is very specialized. This is a motor for very large equipment that does our oxidation ditch. This equipment was done at the time of construction, so it's 20 years old and has ran flawlessly until recently. It is a delivery of like 16 weeks to get this here. So it is up and running. This is just something we have on the shelf because of the timeline and lags that happen with this equipment. We have 4 of the same pieces of equipment and they've been very reliable and good, but it's time to update, repair. And this is budgeted for it.
What is
Can I
it?
make a motion? Can we make a motion?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we, buy a new phone.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Shaver and a second from Commissioner Bowser for approving the purchase of a motor for the wastewater treatment plant. Any other questions from the commission?
What was that quote? I got the email, but.
It's not total, so there's a motor and a gearbox, basically.
Just over 18,000.
Yeah,
It's over the $15,000.
yes, it's about 18, between 18 and 19,000.
From the discussion standpoint, let's get used to these. We see a lot of,
I was, well, to tell you the truth, I hate to speak out of turn, but I was wondering if those, I noticed in my email that those, the purchaser policy, where those numbers need to be upped a little, because of, it was written in 2012, 2011.
Yes, and the
And we all know what
costs
happened.
have gone up
Inflation.
substantially. That is definitely something we could look at. We did increase it at that point. I think our thresholds were about 2,000 at that point, so they did increase it. But especially for the wastewater plant and specialized equipment, we bring a lot of these before you guys.
And I have a question. With the purchase of this, you said there might be a large lag time until we receive it. Does the quote go up and down with shipping with this? No.
No, this
Okay.
is, honored for 30 days. So we have to get it to you guys fairly quickly, but once we accept it, they do block that.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions from the commission? And how about the public? Okay, all right, we'll do a roll call vote for item number 3.
We are going to purchase a new motor for the wastewater treatment plant. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Okay, item number 4 is discussion and action on approving the application for federal financial assistance from the U.S. Department of Justice for City Victim Witness Advocate and allowing the city manager to sign any agreements related to this grant. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so as you guys may know, the city attorney's office recently moved away from, sharing an office space and some administrative services with the county. One of the services we lost was, the victim witness advocate. And I'll let the city attorney kind of speak to the details of what this individual does. But this is definitely a service that helps victims of crime. It helps attorneys make sure that those victims show up for court dates and things like that. And it is an opportunity that we can work with the Department of Justice on funding these type of positions so that our residents have availability to those services. At this time, the county is not providing.
Correct, and Holly summed it up very well. So a victim witness advocate is, their role is to help a person through the process. They are there typically right after the event happened to talk about court dates, what this person is to expect. They help them reach out for funding that might be available for counseling, things like that. And so that person fills a good role where it's not working with the prosecutor, with me. So they're more there just for support. Offices across the state have victim witness advocates. It's a program that is funded by the state via the Department of Justice, hence the title of this item here. And so we are seeking a new position that this person will work with me, work with the courts, and most importantly, work with the victims. Victims would be typically victims of crimes of domestic abuse, orders of protection, stalking, even just assault. Elderly folks, they can get access to the services from the victim witness advocate as well. What's nice about the program that we're applying for, it's a grant application that I'm working through the process on that right now. We're asking you today if it would be okay to submit this grant. So with the grant being an applicant it goes through the Montana Bureau of Crime and Crime Control. So the MBCC manages all the grants for every county, every city that applies for them in the state. So we're in the application process right now, and based on the statistics coming out of Lewistown, from the Lewistown Police Department, we believe we could certainly justify getting a part-time position filled and paid for by the grant. With it being a new application, because the city has never applied for this type of grant.
In years.
In years. So we are considered a new applicant. With that, there has to be a match from the city. That would be a 20% match. However, that match can also be in kind. The way they calculate the in-kind match would be, an easy one would be office space. And with the way they calculate that is through comparable rates through the town. The person I'm working with seems that the match in kind would certainly meet that threshold, no problem. So it's a good opportunity. Again, it's federal funding that's managed by a state entity and would cover the cost of that service.
I have a couple questions.
Certainly.
I was the victim's advocate for juvenile probation, and so I'm certified victim's advocate. So is the county attorney still, does the county still have their victim's advocate?
Yes, they do.
So you would just be, this would just be for city?
Correct.
What about juvenile probation?
So juvenile probation, that goes through the county. If a juvenile is charged with certain misdemeanors, it goes through my office. If they're doing that, if it's probation, if they do like an informal disposition, that's all through the county attorney's office.
Okay, because mine was just rolled into the job.
Oh, sure.
I did community service, I did my job, and then I did, so.
Yep.
But this is, it would be a full-time or half-time?
Part-time.
Part-time.
Yep. Again, based on the statistics, the numbers that come out of the city, we believe that would qualify for the part-time. The numbers for a full-time, that could be yet to be seen. Now, and a little more info on that. So the The grant is a 2-year grant, and so the next grant application being 2028, and based on the numbers that are reported during that time period, that could pop up to a full-time position. Did you use the VS tracking? So you're familiar with the VS? So the VS tracking is a case management system. Commissioner Bowser seems to know, I don't know if that's a kind of a chagrin thing there. So part of this person's duty, he or she has to report to the state. They have to track what they're doing, the type of case that came in, what services were offered to them. And it's a good thing for the state too, because it gives them those kind of statistics quarterly, and they keep good tabs on the numbers.
And then there were tons of, using, like abuse, but sex offenses.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Tons.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're out there, no doubt, but.
Do you know how much is the grant that you're asking?
Right now, we'd be asking for, again, the part-time position, so that'd be at the 1,040 hours, and we're working on what we're asking for wage on that.
Okay.
And so kind of the process would be, getting a grant in place, and we can work on maybe a job description and things like that. But until we were notified that we were successful with our grant, we wouldn't open the position.
Yep.
That's really needed, I think, when they try to cut those, I mean, that's tough on victims, and then you can help them apply for compensation counseling.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's well needed. That's just my opinion.
Any other comments from any other commissioners? Okay, Commissioner Bueller.
Would this then be a city staff member? And so the grant would support all of the wage, or would they, is it like a partial fund?
We would fund it as a part-time, pretty much standalone. Now, they would be able to provide maybe some other services for the city attorney, based on workload and things like that.
But it would be a new city staff member.
Correct. With the primary position being the victim witness advocate.
Okay, perfect.
It's a 20% city match. Can you put a dollar amount on that?
So looking at it, if we went with say $18 an hour at 1,040, that's about $36,000 a year. So that'd be about, I don't know, $7,200.
Commissioner Robertson.
Just point of clarification, and you feel that would be covered as an in-kind donation using the services, so it wouldn't be a cash outlay for this?
Correct. So it's not, obviously we'd have to have it approved, but apparently how most of the match is funded is by in-kind contributions. So that's a common practice for this grant, is my understanding.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Would that person be housed in the city office, or?
It's still to be explored, but, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm getting snuggly in there.
The reason it's here tonight is we have a deadline, so we want to not miss the
Okay.
deadline for the grant. How does
And
that
there-
better answer?
There
that
are some
There's a-
operations that will wait.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, but we don't wanna miss the window to apply for the grant. Is that a better way to say it?
Yes, there is a timeline on that. So the grant is due in the next couple of weeks. So really, we're just asking permission to go ahead and sign the document.
Seize the day.
That will see where we're putting everybody.
That's right.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I think we,
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for the victims advocate in the city.
second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Bowser and a second from Commissioner Bueller. Any other comments from the commission regarding the motion from the public? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
All right.
Will you read the motion, please?
Yes, I will. Okay, so we are approving the application for federal financial assistance from the U.S. Department of Justice for the City Victim Witness Advocate and allowing the city manager to sign any agreements related to this grant. Everyone understand the motion? Yep. Okay. Commissioner Bowser,
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller,
Aye.
Commissioner Day,
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson, Commissioner Shaver.
All right, item number 5 is discussion and action on selecting a consultant for the library's master plan and allowing the city to negotiate a cost for this work. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yep, so Commissioner Bowser touched on it briefly. The library board applied and was successful in receiving a CDBG grant for a library master plan. They solicited, proposals from, various architectural and engineering firms and had several, submit proposals. Kind of the next step is to work with them and negotiate the cost. So at this point, they have a $50,000 grant, and again, had some matching funds from the Friends of the Library, to continue on with their project. And so they had a lot of great applicants, submit proposals, and, at the board meeting, both at the, building committee meeting ahead of it, and then the board, the library board meeting that followed, the decision was to continue with Mosaic. And they had originally explored the option of utilizing Snowy Mountain Development to administer the grant. And there was a cost increase for that service. And so the library board recommended not utilizing that service and keeping that in-house. And so we already have moved forward with approval of Mosaic, though we would kind of go through the next process of negotiating that cost for the work. So no action is necessary tonight, but just really an update. I don't know if our library director or we have 2 members of our building committee in attendance as well tonight, if any of them would like to add anything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm Melissa Wallenties, library director, and I would just like to say that I have tremendously appreciated the support of Holly, Tyler, Nikki, the building committee, and the library board throughout this process. So thank you for your support as well with pursuing this grant, and we're looking forward to placing our building. Thank you.
Don Glost, I'm on the board. I looked into our choice. Our choice was hands down when I investigated around the state. Was spoken very highly of, done work in this community already with Birdwell Builders. But I called Dick Anderson Construction, and I called Billings, and everybody said the same thing, that these were really good people to work with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mosaic.
Where is Mosaic based out of? Thank you.
And
Like library
they're
building.
very
So we're-
involved with like historic preservation as well.
A lot of it, and we worked with them on Creekside. So again, I, much the same, had a great experience with them.
So we don't need to make a
No,
motion to
no
approve?
action needed.
We'd actually already.
So, does that come from the fact that the library board is autonomous? Mostly, or no?
Well, we've already we approved it back at the first meeting in December. And so we're just upholding that. There were some questions raised at the last minute by Snowy Mountain. And so we took our time and explored those and make sure that we had no concerns moving forward with Mosaic.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Very exciting. Okay, item number 6, discussion and action on the first reading on ordinance number 1775, an ordinance amending section 1053 of the Lewistown City Code relating to snow routes and parking restrictions. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so this is an ordinance and a first reading that did very little to change our snow route. I'm trying to find the section.
Page 4.
Thank you. So what it does is will allow us to amend, the streets and designation of streets, by resolution. And so it takes 60 days to do this process. And as you heard from Commissioner Bowser and Commissioner Day was also there, there's already being talk of changes. We did forget a couple streets, things that maybe we overlooked. And so we are looking for maybe a mechanism that would allow that to be made in a winter season or things like that, to be a little bit more responsive. So this proposes no changes, only a mechanism that would do it quicker.
Yeah, and just to echo that, again, there's some tinkering that needs to happen. We knew that this was gonna be the case with this snow route. And it's as, I like the word that you used, Holly, is mechanism. In drafting this originally, I didn't think about, well, if we need to change it, that'd be a real cumbersome process. So with amending this ordinance to allow it to change by resolution, that would be okay, because we're not talking about changing penalties, we're not talking about how we're gonna do it. We're just changing the policy of which street this applies to. So the resolution, which you could do that in one meeting, get it done, again, as long as you noticed it up, but a lot smoother process to make this machine work
So
better.
we aren't gonna constantly be changing the ordinance. We're gonna change the ordinance, but by resolution.
Right,
Not by a complete rewrite of the ordinance.
correct.
I understand.
And that can accommodate things like maybe a road closure and pushes traffic a different way, and really now we need that street to be a tier 1 or tier 2.
And as we're talking about having the touch and base in the spring with the public, we'll get all that feedback and maybe say, ooh, maybe we went too far on this road or not far enough on this road.
Or why is this not addressed?
Or Holly's talking about a property where you have a tier 1 butting up to a tier 2, and that creates some hardship for those folks, so we might be able to make it better.
That's not fun. That's not fun.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve ordinance number 1775, amendment of city code section 1053 relating to snow routes and parking restrictions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Robertson and a second from Commissioner Bueller. Any other comments or questions from the commission? Okay, from the public? All right, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay, this is the first reading of ordinance number 1775. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Day?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to citizens' requests. Any requests tonight? All right, we'll go for commissioner minutes. Let's start with Commissioner Bowser.
I don't have anything tonight.
Commissioner Bueller?
I have 2 minutes. One, I received an email talking about snow routes and snow berms and how we can more effectively clear out areas, especially in front of schools, as that can be a very big challenge for a lot of kids crossing traffic in high traffic areas. That has been sent on to Holly, so I'm sure that will continue in discussion and figure out the best way that we can keep those roads clear and safe, which has been an interesting winter again, about the weather being kind of helpful and kind of helping us practice this snow removal process. The other is a question that was raised about traffic patterns and how, if people are interested, how to get signage to streets. They're noticing an uptick in traffic on a street and they think that they'd like to have a stop sign or yield. What is the process that people can follow to get that through?
So if the general public wants to see something or wants it studied, often I ask them to put the request in writing, and then I will run it by both the chief of police and the fire chief. But we discuss it in our department heads meetings as well, to see if it's warranted. We have discussed some different traffic pattern changes or traffic signage changes in areas of schools and things like that. And so at that point, it may involve the district and things like that, a larger group as well.
And this one was a request to look down by the city pool, especially with traffic changes down there that have happened because of the recent stop sign that was put in. Is it on Shields or which one is it on?
There's nothing recently that has been.
Oh, it was in the last two or 3 years. Yeah, because I drive by. I promise you, it's on 6th and either Shields or,
Shields is always
Shields
good.
is the only one with the stop sign on
Yeah.
grass.
And that was, that's a state route, that was done as
on
part of.
6th.
Yeah. Sixth and Shields has been there since I've been here, and I've been here 25 years.
Yeah, the right one
So it must be a
there.
different one.
Because it's one that is new that I would drive to on hockey. So I have to, but that is the area that.
You'll have to go drive it.
I will. I had it on
But that's
post-it
kind of the
note,
process.
but I didn't make it to the meeting. So the process would be for the citizen to formally write to you in an email.
Yep, make
That
a
then-
request and we'll route it through our department heads.
Okay. And is there a specific form or anything that they need to include beyond, hey,
A letter is great.
I want a stop sign, or maybe I want to yield, because those are real fun too.
And sometimes we'll do it through legislative changes or ticketing issues, that will identify those problem areas and can make some changes.
Groovy. Okay, thank you. That's my minutes.
Awesome, Commissioner Shaver,
I'm okay.
Commissioner Robertson.
I'm gonna use your time. Real quickly, I'll make it quick.
I yield.
Thank you. I appreciate the city manager report. I haven't been present the last 2 meetings, so I haven't seen the specific, but I
We have them, we have the other two in the office for you.
Thank you. I really think this is great. I really like the employment update, and I would encourage you to print that, a formal version of that in the newspaper, this big, like for a couple months in a row. That would help a lot. I was gonna make the same comment, because the same constituent sent me an email about snow removal around the school, and how that needs to be a really high priority early in the morning before everybody shows up. Not after, and we need to not burn it and leave it in the middle of that street, because it's really difficult. I think we'll talk about the same place.
Yep.
And then, we received an email about, a kind of a complaint, so to speak, about why do we need to do alternate parking if it's not snowing? And my feedback would be that forecasters are not always accurate. Mother Nature is fickle, and that it's a habit that we need to get into during winter months and be prepared for when it does snow and we're not expecting it, so that we don't have that big mess. And I have empathy for having to move. I think I will say it publicly again, I did my entire youth where I lived, and many years after when I lived in a different state, and so I feel for them, but I think it's more important that we get streets cleared for everybody and have people move their vehicles on those roads. That's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Hewitt?
I saw the building of the apartments. And I was amazed that they were going up so rapidly.
In Rosewood.
Yeah.
They really shine in the sunset. You notice that?
Any other comments?
Oh, no.
Okay. Awesome. So, I just want to make sure the goal sheet that we were given as commissioners is on everybody's radar. Is there a deadline that you'd like those by?
They can trickle in, you can hang on to them. It's this one, it was when your binders were handed out. It is going to be a committee of the whole topic. There's probably a few in front of it, but I would anticipate, April at the very latest, we'll be having that discussion. Again, our goals often drive our budget as well.
Alrighty. And then my other question is, thank you for the land use plan presentation. It's great. and learn more new stuff. But how are we moving forward with like all of those high priority items? Will that be taken care of at the planning commission, within the planning commission, or is there any type of goal setting or things
So
that we
we will,
need to do to make sure that we're
kind of that
addressing all those
process.
areas?
We are targeting those. So you heard many of the plans mentioned that there's various groups or efforts on them. They all will have to kind of work through the planning commission first off. But then the planning commission is an advisory, and so they will host public engagement events, public meetings, then you guys make the final decision. Where you also host public engagement and public meetings. So we'll continue to gather public comments and hopefully get a lot of public involvement throughout the process as well.
In the implementation chapter, you'll see that there's a responsible party. So tonight you saw the Holly announced that the downtown master plan has been accepted. That's one of the high priority updates. And so implementing this plan will start with that process to update the master plan for the Lewistown, for downtown Lewistown. But eventually make it through the planning commission as well, and then to this.
I don't remember what their ask was, but they were awarded 40,000,
I
correct?
think
Is it too far off the mark of their ask, or was it pretty
Yeah, it was
close to
half.
the?
I think they had asked, for an $80,000 grant, and looking at the review process that the Department of Commerce went, they thought that their ask was too high, based on all of the work that was done with this document.
Darn it.
And so they felt, they have successfully been awarded a TIF grant, and, have some other funds as well that they can use for that. And so, I would guess, we have a kickoff meeting, I think, in the next week or so. So we'll kind of talk about realistic budgets. Again, there's a lot of consultants that did the library master plan that would be very, able to do something like this as well. So there's a lot of consultants in the area interested in doing additional work in Lewistown. So they should be able to get some estimates on that.
Anything else from the commission for the good of the order, for the public? Okay, good. This meeting's adjourned.
Allow snow in front of the post office. And Commissioner Day, all plowed the hill, but they can sand.
I really like the calendar.
You like the calendar?
I like the calendar.
Keep it, and if you
Okay, perfect. I will add that.
your minutes to this rocker brain.
Things on copy burner.
I'm trying to do until the room's in order. We seem to walk out.
You can, every now and then, I go out.
I'm guessing that it
This
is.
is-
I think somebody, I don't know
What is
but
it?
it's easier for
Wednesday, I think.
I missed the last time when I go.
Molly's calendar.